I am here with Erika Alexander
Yes.
and Emily Best. And you guys are here with an initiative called Keep It Colorful. Could you tell us about it?
Sure.
Sure. So Erika and I had the good fortune of meeting several months ago, and her company, Color Farm Media, and my company, Seed and Spark, are really engaging the entertainment business to diversify a lot faster than it has been in the last 120 years. And we realized that our powers combined could get a lot of work done. And we called up our friends at Black and Sexy TV, and the three companies came together for Keep It Colorful with a single goal, which is to get at least 50 pilots by creators of color greenlit in 2018.
Okay, well, that's a tall order. And earlier you were speaking about just some ways that the industry operated, everything from lighting, coloring you were talking about. And so with this initiative, things like that, how do you hope to affect it?
I mean, part of it is going to where creators of color are and using Erika's incredible ability to inspire and excite to get them motivated to do it this year. So I think part of it is creators of color, women, LGBT, we face an uphill battle every day in life and then equally in our work, and therefore sometimes you can feel discouraged. So part of it is showing up and saying, here's an opportunity, here are the tools, and here's why the time is now. So we've been traveling across the country together, and today we will teach two separate workshops. One is called Crowdfunding to Build Independence, and the other is called The Art of the Pitch. And these are really about giving filmmakers the tools that they need to build independent, sustainable careers wherever they are. And Seed and Spark is a platform that has built a lot of the technology to help creators do that, but it's actually really hard to leverage the technology without the skills and tools built around that. And so that's really what we're out here offering first and foremost, is an opportunity for creators to see that they can do it themselves. You don't need to ask for permission from people who are not there to give it to you anyway.
Erika, what are some of the stories, some of the experiences, some of the lives that you hope to share and expose in an initiative like this?
Well, last night we happened to have a mixer at the Moonlight Post House, and there were a lot of people who came out because Stacey Abrams, this is a big industry state here for film and television and entertainment, and a lot of the people who came told me their story of what they've been doing or what they've done, so they were excited about it. I think that they were trying to either leverage what they had completed and see how they could do better to get it out there, or make their next thing. How could they make it different? How could they make more people, bring more eyes to it? Then there were people with individual stories, like my friend Keiston White, who I've only known on Facebook, and he's a paraplegic from the neck down. And his whole thing is, I want to be an actor, Erika, but no one's going to write me as an actor. And he says, and here lately, my body is failing me. What will I do? And I said, well, how will we work through that, Keiston? What kind of show can you create that you can control because you have an ability to be different? What kind of leading man will you be? Will it be have a podcast, a more audio feel? Will it be pictures? And we talked about it. And I think she's right about encouragement. To be able to go out and individually talk to people and say, your story still matters, don't give up. Yeah. There's a way to do this, there's people to help you. He even said, Erika, I may not be able to get out of work to come today. And he said, don't worry. I said, Seed and Spark is really great at leveraging all the talent they have to speak directly to the people who participate. And so, from a person like Keiston to somebody who drove 13 hours from Florida.
He did, from Jacksonville.
To come and learn how he could do his project. That's what that's what's happening. It's not just, it's like attracts like, but also that energy. We need them and they need us in some way. We're all looking for each other. And I think that that's the best thing. It's not only our individual needs and our credibility that's out here on the streets and awareness for companies like us, but we're also trying to say that the particular audience, we can't do it without you, and we're hoping that what we're offering will help you.
That's right.
What's been the response?
It's been unbelievable. We had a sold out event last night. We have 430 people RSVP'd for the workshops today. We have already 50 submissions to participate in the rally. And we're still, I think, 6 weeks away from 4 weeks away from the submission deadline closing. So I think we're going to have hundreds of participants, and I don't want to like count any chickens before they hatch, but I think we are well on our way to reaching our goal, if not surpassing it. The most exciting thing to me too has been the response from the industry. So between Erika and her extensive contacts, our friends at Filmtown in Atlanta who have been a partner with us on these events, we've put together a pretty incredible group of industry mentors, many from Atlanta, like Paul and Tammy Garnes.
Yes. Avery Williams over at Morehouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Kim Fields is going to be here. Living single regime.
I am sorry. I'm going to really have a hard time not fangirling for Kim Shields.
Oh, man.
Well, this has been the task for me in coming to this is knowing whether to ask certain things or not. And of course, that's something everybody wants to know is about the show. We'll save that for later.
No problem.
Well, so I think the industry response and the amount of people who have lined up behind us to say it's not really just about getting these pilots greenlit. It's making sure that these creators have the tools and the resources, and that also means the human resources and mentorship resources to build their careers to the level that they want to go. Because there are some people who just want to build an independent, sustainable career, make a living, feed their family, making the stuff that they want to make. And there are also the people out there who are ready to be the next Ryan Coogler and want to make giant studio films. That's a different path, right? That requires a sort of a different set of industry structures around you. And we want to make sure that what we're providing is opportunities to pursue whatever path is really right for you. Because I have to say, I don't think we're going to just diversify the entertainment industry with what's in Los Angeles right now, or even just what's in New York. I come to a place like Atlanta and I see the creative energy, the talent at scale in this city, and it's really just about this is not just the professional, like working class for the Hollywood, sort of creative capital. All the creativity is here. And the scale is here. So the question is, how do we make sure that creators who are just getting their start now, or who've been working professionally for a long time on other people's work and want to make their own, can now build their own careers? Because what I want to see in Atlanta is what happened in the music business in the 80s and 90s, which is the talent came from here. They built huge careers. They brought their money and their production resources back here, and then they grew this into the capital. Well, Atlanta is ripe to do that in content also, right?
And that was something that was a thought that I had some time ago, and that is, how has Atlanta's music impact over the last almost 30 years now prepared the people in Atlanta for what we're seeing in the movie industry right now and the types of things that you're talking about?
I mean, I don't want to speak I'm not an expert in the music business. I had a really great meeting yesterday with a longtime music manager and producer in Atlanta who sort of helped me understand the context. What I think is exemplary was when LaFace Records came back here and became a hub, right? So this was not just the place that the talent was growing up from the grassroots. There was the professional and executive level to greenlight that talent from right within the city. Right now, there's a tremendous creative brain drain in all of the major cities that aren't New York and Los Angeles, because when you want to reach sort of a creative level at a certain scale, you end up having to go to New York and LA for the green lights. There is no reason those green lights can't come from Atlanta. But I think it's on the creators right now to learn how to build the professional investing class. Lord knows the money is here, right? But we just have to train those folks to know why it's important to invest in the creative community here, and keep their dollars here as opposed to sort of chasing Hollywood. Like, this is the new Hollywood.
Yeah, it's funny that you should mention the music thing though, because that's actually a really good question. I hadn't thought about it, but I would think, and I'm no expert in music either, but I do know that the problem with what was happening in the 90s and 80s and the music atmosphere was that there was power in the hands of few. and there were many that wanted to get through the door. And if you didn't know the big producers, or if you didn't have the apparatus around you, they could hold you in contracts often, never use you, and you'd go past your time and get frustrated. Or you could be chosen, and it would just be one or two of you. There were very few people who learned how to actually produce their own records and learn how to work that board, especially women. So they were made beholden to many men who could take advantage of them. And my nieces right now, they're singers. They have a group called Little Big Sister. We'll be in Philadelphia, by the way, at the Limitless Music Festival, and on the 22nd, Sunday. But I always said to them, I said, you must learn how to write your own music, learn the board, so you never can be that vulnerable. And now women are doing that. They want to be Missy Elliott, but before, Missy Elliott was the one. And I think with what we're talking about, we're saying if they had more funds and had more collaboration and had more networking and realized how they could barter and also exchange contracts to do certain things, then we'd have a lot more, just an explosion of not creativity, but of product, of results.
That's right.
And is that what you're seeing in the movie industry, television industry, and skill sets here in Atlanta and other smaller markets?
Oh man, the skills are all here, right? I think it's, there's no question that the talent and skills are here to, I mean, we're gonna have a room full of people who collectively will probably make 200 or 300 movies and shows in the next year or so, right? This is a chance for creators of color to really saturate the market, which I think is a really important piece in the diversification. Is it's just making sure there's the quantity of product there, and it's sort of, it's almost gross to call it that, but when we're talking about a content marketplace, like, we still have to work within the confines of capitalism, I guess. Right. That's kind of what we're talking about. So all the talent for movie making is here, but the skills to build a career in the age of the internet are being overlooked at the university level. They're not part of the sort of Hollywood story of how careers get built. Right. Those stories are about somebody who's so special, they just had to get picked. And that is a very damaging narrative, especially for women and people of color and anyone from a marginalized community of any kind, because the pickers don't look like us, right? And that's not typically who they pick. So rather than constantly burning energy comparing ourselves to a narrative that was not written for us, I think we have to build a new skill set and a new way of coming to work, in addition to all those filmmaking skills. And some people say, well, you know, that's not fair. And I'm like, yeah, but we're talking about building your own business. I'm a CEO of a company. Like, 80% of the work I do is not the work that I love to do, but it's worth it so I get to do the 20% my way.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on with the GeorgiaSentinelNews.com and sharing your experiences and bringing this wonderful initiative to Atlanta. And could I ask, what are some of the other cities that we can expect to see this program?
Well, we'll be in Compton
on July 16th.
July 16th. We'll be in Raleigh.
22nd?
No, that's the 19th. No.
22nd.
No, Philly's the 22nd.
Philly's
Sorry.
the 22nd. Raleigh's the 23rd?
Raleigh's the 23rd.
That's right.
And then we'll be in Chicago at WakandaCon. Doing, WakandaCon forever. That's on the 3rd and the 4th. And so that's what we have so far.
And you can stay tuned. seedandspark.com/colorful is where you can find all of the events.
Thank you.
Thank you.